So I've been asked a lot about why I don't do more video. If you've been following the Rock and Soul Tarot podcast, it's an audio podcast and it's available on Spotify and Apple and wherever podcasts are streamed. But you know, for a couple of reasons, as a radio DJ by trade, after you hear you've got a face for radio countless times in 18 years of doing it, you tend to be a little shy around the camera. But the other thing that I'm asked is, why rock and roll? Why do you compare rock and roll and tarot cards? Well, look, I'm a DJ by trade. Tarot cards was something I shied away from for years. When I was growing up, my mother and her friends were all tarot card readers. I grew up with, various sorts of women in the house. Hey, Bri, let me read your card and see when your new girlfriend's coming. Hey, Bri, let's see if you are gonna pass this math test, and it got a little weird. When things started to get to a point where I could no longer deny what was going on with my intuition, I decided, okay, I'll embrace tarot, but I have to do it in a way that's comfortable. So why rock and roll? Because rock and roll is rebellious. My mother's been telling me I had a gift for years, but what's rock and roll all about? Pissing off your parents, thumbing your nose or other appendages at authority. Now, I can tell you that even though I've now been reading for 4 or 5 years, I don't remember the definition of every single card. And here's why that doesn't matter. If you do, that's great. But when somebody sits down in front of you, that card's gonna mean something to them. If your friend sits down after you, that same card might mean something completely different. And when you have other cards with it, the whole meaning can change. That's the same thing with music. That's the same thing with rock and roll. The lyrics to one song written by one person can mean 100 different things to 100 different people. That's what makes rock and roll and tarot maybe not so obvious, but so amazing to learn from and compare with. So as we go through these lessons and look at each card, we'll do the major arcana, all 22 cards first, then we'll do the minor arcana, then we'll flip them upside down. But take a card, for example, like the Five of Swords, the big mouth card. We've all been in situations where we've said more than we should have. Somebody's been annoying you for so long that you found the verbal kill shot. You went in, you destroyed them. And then you feel like garbage afterwards because you realize, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I should have held my breath. Well, look at some rock and roll bands that have famously imploded throughout time. Aerosmith, for example. They channel the energy of this card. Nobody in the band could stand Joe Perry, the guitar player's wife. When you listen to Sweet Emotion, and he says, wearing out things that nobody wears, and it's a diss track. I'm blanking on all the words right now, but Sweet Emotion is basically Steven Tyler tearing up Joe Perry's wife to her face, to his face, and he had to stand there on stage every night and play the song. Well, even though it was a major hit, it eventually led to the breakup of Aerosmith for quite a while. It was a famous story. Somebody threw milk at someone else and Aerosmith literally broke up over spilled milk. That's the energy of the Five of Swords. Stone Temple Pilots and all of their famous fights. The energy of the Five of Swords, saying things in the media. STP said some really nasty things about Scott. And then after Scott passed away, you saw the mourning on their faces. You saw the pain in their eyes. That's the type of thing we're gonna do together on the Rock and Soul video podcast. And if you like this content, if you wanna know more, please subscribe. Like the button below, subscribe. I'm open to any ideas. Maybe there's a tarot card and a song you wanna link together. And I'll talk to you soon. Until then, gonna miss you, baby. Good luck, goodbye, be safe. So all content today and every time we film Rock and Soul Tarot was done by Inner Flash Productions. If you want your moment captured right, from corporate events to weddings to bar mitzvahs to any type of party, Inner Flash Productions has everything you need. It's innerflashpro.com. Check them out. Tell them Orlando sent you.